Do you often delay tasks and miss deadlines? Would you say that you lack control? Do you struggle to get things done? If you've answered yes to any of those things, then this video is absolutely for you. Today I'm going to show you 10 top tips to overcome procrastination. And I think the best thing to do first is to kind of highlight what procrastination actually looks like. So you've got social media and just going on the internet and just scrolling. We've definitely all been there, and what we thought was going to be 5 minutes turned out to be 5 hours. Prolonged breaks. Then we've got over planning, so just writing loads of things down and not actually implementing anything. Cleaning and organisation. Like, how many of us had chosen to do the washing up or hoovering or dusting just so they can avoid doing the task at hand? I mean, I absolutely have been one of those people, which is so embarrassing to admit, but so true. Also perfectionism. Oh no, I can't do that. It's not perfect yet. And the list just goes on and on and on. And according to research, the biggest blocker in achieving our goals and the tasks that we need to do is actually this belief that we need to be motivated or we need to be in the right mindset. I've got news for you. That is utter bullshit and a lie that we tell ourselves. And believe it or not, if we have the belief that we need to be in the right mindset or we need to be motivated to do all things we absolutely do not want to do, you are never going to get anything done. Which is why I suggest that you use these top 10 tips to deal with procrastination head on rather than waiting on your motivation to spearhead you forward. So with that in mind, the first step that I have is breaking your tasks up into manageable steps. So for example, it could be that you need to make 40 calls in the day. Well, 40 calls, depending on who you are, could be quite overwhelming. So what I suggest is you break that down into manageable chunks. So rather than doing 40 calls, break it into 4 sessions of 10 calls, or do 8 sessions of 5 calls, whatever it is that makes it feel less overwhelming, break it up. So as my old boss used to say, the best way to eat an elephant is to eat it in bite-sized chunks. Number 2, now this is all about prepping your environment, and the key here is getting rid of all the distractions. So that's your TV, that's your phone. Obviously, if you need to be in a situation you have to have your phone, there are apps which disable notifications pinging off left, right and centre. So we can absolutely do that. Or just turn it off, put it on Do Not Disturb. And you also want to make sure that you are in an environment where it's well lit and it's comfortable, you've got everything that you need, again, to minimise those distractions and make sure that you're kind of set up for success. So, if you are working in a cafe, for example, it's really good to get noise cancelling headphones and just give yourself time to dedicate to the task at hand. And the other thing is, making sure that you declutter your workspace as well as your desktop. So just making sure it's got no clutter, and when you log onto your computer, just making sure that everything's all ordered. So many times you go onto see people's desktops and they've got folders open left, right and centre, about a million gazillion tabs open, and all these different unopened mail and Word documents. It's an absolute minefield. And you know how they say tidy room, tidy mind? The same applies to your laptop. So absolutely make it a point in the day to make sure that you're going through and filtering through your inbox and getting rid of all those folders that you don't need in your desktop, just so you've got a clear mind for your task at hand to be set up for success. And the third thing, making things exciting. Now, I've already told you that I have ADHD, and one of the things I really struggle with is if I have to do something that is boring or I don't want to do it, I really, really struggle. So the way in which I've combated this is to do something exciting and reward myself. So for example, I was speaking to Dan yesterday and I have to book in appointments. Very easy, it's part of my job, but for some reason I've got a bit of a mental blocker. And so we've decided that if I get one appointment, I get a bunch of flowers. If I get 2 appointments, then I get a body massage by Dan. That's probably more of a benefit for him. And then third, if I get 3 appointments, I get my nails done, and the list goes on. And now I'm like, oh my goodness. So today I already get my body massage and I get flowers because I've got 2 appointments. So we are winning, and that just makes it so much more enjoyable. Also, it's like, you know, when you've got a task and you need to dedicate some time, make sure you've got something to look forward to afterwards. So after I've done my calls, I know I'm going to go out and play frisbee and have an amazing lunch and go for a nice walk. So I'm really looking forward to that. The fourth, change your story and you change your state. Now, I have my mentor to thank for that, Mario, and he is just wonderful and super, super amazing. Highly recommend. And basically, he was saying that it's all about the story in which we tell ourselves that determine our state. So if we're there telling ourselves that, oh gosh, like I don't want to pay this bill, I don't want to spend my money on something that, you know, I don't see any value in, and all this, and you kind of have these negative connotations, you're going to feel in a negative state. So instead, change the story and say, you know, I'm so grateful that I get to pay this energy bill because it means that I'm going to have heat in the winter and it keeps me warm. It also shows me that I've got a house or an apartment or a place to live, which I can stay safe and cozy. And again, just like rewiring the story that we're telling ourselves, because it makes such a difference to how we feel, and like the energy that we're projecting out into the world massively affects how we feel on the inside as well. So change your story and you change your state. Number 5, set clear, smart goals, which you can easily measure. That way you can kind of, you know, make sure that you're on track and you can see the progress that you're making. We all know how good it feels just to put a little tick or highlight once you've done something. So make sure you've got that and it's easy to measure. So again, you can keep yourself accountable for the things that you're doing. And also you have a clear direction and a focus, so you know what you need to do with the day or the time that you've allocated. Number 6 is setting specific time blocks. So one of the things that I've ordered is a sand timer for 25 minutes. It's a link to, I don't know if you've heard this, the Pomodoro Technique. So I recently come across this, and I've heard like different techniques that are quite similar. But for this one, it says about allocating 25 minutes to a task that you kind of struggle to get done. And then you give yourself 5 minutes just to rest and close your eyes and sleep just for 5 minutes. And again, set your timer because otherwise you won't wake up, so don't blame me for that. And the idea is that you actually make yourself feel so much calmer and rejuvenated, and you're actually processing the things that's going on in your mind, and so you're setting yourself up so you're retaining more information. So I'm just in the process of doing it at the moment, and so far, so good. And again, it just makes it feel so much more easier and manageable. But I'm definitely up for, you know, improving my long-term memory, because as you know, memory is something that I suffer with as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how that unravels. And then number 7, using the 2-minute rule. This is really simple, real basic. But that's just, if it's going to take 2 minutes to do, then literally just get it done, get it sorted. If it's an email you quickly need to reply to, or it's just quickly putting some things in the dishwasher, just go and do it, because it's proven that by doing this, you alleviate so much stress and anxiety. And isn't that what we want? We don't want any stress. We don't want to feel anxious. We want to feel joyous and happy, and that we're smashing it. Number 8, prioritize important tasks. So that's about tackling the most important or the most challenging when you're at your peak state. So whether you feel like you've got the most energy in the morning, or whether it's in the afternoon or the evening, make sure that that's the time in which you dedicate to doing your most important task. And I told you that as part of my morning miracle, what I tend to do is do critical tasks. One critical task first thing in the morning, just so I can get it done, because for me, that's when I have the most energy. Number 9 is having an accountability partner. So that can be one at work, it can be outside as well for your like personal goals. And the aim there is just highlighting what it is that you're trying to achieve and what you're going to promise yourself that you're going to deliver, and then coming back to that person and say, okay, this is what I set myself and this is what I've achieved. And by having an accountability partner, you don't want to let yourself down, but you also don't want to tell them that you've let yourself down. So it's a real like psychological thing, but it absolutely works. And also you get that added benefit of the motivation and the support and the praise when you do a really good job. And number 10 is practice mindfulness. So I've been doing this of late, where I have been listening to some like meditations to get me into the right state, and I feel like it massively is improving my focus, it's reducing my stress, and that all contributes to procrastination. So again, like, dedicate some time to these practices that help you to achieve those things, because you know, there's been so many times when we've added to our stress and we feel overwhelmed, or you know, for me, I have avoided paying parking tickets, for example. I'm going to highlight this to you. And you know, what should have been, I think, was like £30, turned out it cost me £128 because I did not pay it in time. I mean, that is an absolute joke. And I can guarantee I am not the only one on here that has done that. So if you are that person, I'm not going to get you just to raise your hand and acknowledge that, but we are wasting money, we are wasting time, we are adding to our stress, we are creating anxiety, and they can all be eradicated by implementing these 10 steps. And you don't have to do them all at once. You can cherry pick the ones that's going to work for you and just do it again in bite-sized chunks. But I promise you, it massively will help you with your procrastination, and you will get shit done and you will feel so good. So I hope you really enjoyed today's video, and I hope you found the tips really useful and helpful. Let me know like which ones are working for you, and which ones, you know, there might be that I haven't included all of them on there. So please feel free to share, because again, I want everyone that's like part of this community to, you know, share everything they're doing and to grow and to learn from one another. So yeah, I just really hope that you enjoyed that, and thank you so much for watching. Remember, if you like the content, then please like, and if you haven't already, then please subscribe to my channel, because it means so much to me. Have an amazing day, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.